Live.
Hey guys, it's me, Brian Ozone. I'm alive and I'm back. And this is another episode of Masters of the Galaxy podcast. And I got my partner here laughing at me, Aaron Johnson, the Waffle King himself. So
It's just good to have you back, Brian. I mean, for a while you were on a boat. For a while
uh
you were.
yeah, we took a 2 week vacation and I kind of explained it online. I gotta every month I gotta go see a doctor, and unfortunately I used to see him on Sundays, but none of his people want to work on Sundays, which doesn't make sense because they get time and a half. So I got no choice but to go Monday after work. So I can't make it one Monday out of the month, but I'm glad to be back. And you know what? There's no better time now than ever during the year, because this is uh, uh, not only just Masters but toy collectors Christmas all together with
Oh man,
the San Diego Comic Con. Man, I mean,
most exciting time of the year, dude. I mean, I know that that's something that you normally get to attend, and I know you and I talked offline, and you didn't get to do it,
yeah,
but
yeah,
oh
no,
my gosh, let's talk about the glory that was SDCC.
yeah, no. I mean, unfortunately, I mean, it was good. Everything that I heard was good, but at the same time, it's kind of getting bad. Because there's no Matty panel anymore. There's no Matty Palooza. There's no Mattel. It's getting bad that way. It's
Yeah,
more
I
or
feel
less.
you, man. I mean, it seems like, I guess, at least when there was Mattel, there was a bit more of a presence. But I did like some of the
Yes,
stuff that Super Seven did. I mean, that Celebration and some of that stuff.
yes,
That was
yes.
kind of cool.
Well, if be honest with you, if it wasn't for Super Seven, um, we'd probably be dead in the water right now.
Yeah, man.
We'd probably have nothing. So, again, hats off to Brian Flynn and the crew over there at Super Seven, doing a fantastic job with not only the classics line. They are just knocking the ball out of the park with the reaction figures um, that I got.
Reactions. That's one thing we get to talk about. I mean, there's so many things, and I know we've been like a little bit behind on talking about this, but
Yeah,
man, there's so much good stuff that came out of that. Really.
yeah. I mean, you got the reaction figures, the muscle figures. You got that 2 pack of I forget what two vehicles. I think it's the Wind Raider, and
They did
the
Roton.
Roton.
They did Roton.
I believe it's so. Yeah, yeah. I was able to get both versions of the two different colors. Um, I was able to get the carrying case with the Merman variant.
Oh, dude,
Uh,
you called that. Do you remember when you called that? Like when it was all blacked out, and you were like, I don't even know if you remember doing this, but you were like, "Yeah, man, that blacked out thing. I guarantee you, it's a carrying."
oh yeah, it did,
That
yeah,
was freaking sweet because when they
yeah,
did take the black off of it, I was like, "Holy crap! Ozone was
yeah,
right."
yeah. No, dude, to me, it totally looked like an old school carrying case,
Yeah, man. I thought
like
that
the.
was really cool, dude. I mean, as far as do we have any of those, or is there anything like that?
What do you mean?
Is there
Like
already like a case like that, or was that the first time that we actually saw that?
that to me is the first case in Masters.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
So it was it. Here's what it makes me think of, and this is kind of crazy. But when I was a kid, and I know this is not a Star Wars podcast, but when I was a kid, I had this Darth Vader head. It was like Darth Vader's head, and then had like the shoulders and stuff.
I still have it.
You could fit every one of your. I mean, not
Yeah,
everyone, but you could fit like 40
a
something
lot.
figures in there.
Yeah.
So these Masters figures, these reaction figures, they feel very much to me like the original Star Wars
Yes,
figures.
yes, they do.
So how cool, man! It'd be awesome if we could get like a He-Man head or like
That would be
a
sweet.
Skeletor head case or
That'd
something.
be sweet. Yeah, because not only did they make the Darth Vader, they also made the 3CPO.
Oh, did they?
Yes, they did.
I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Yeah, I didn't get the 3CPO one, but I did have the Darth Vader one, and if you remember, they had the two because there was two small uh
Oh, the little compartments on the side.
Yeah, yes, for the weapons. Right, right,
Well,
right.
I had, I guess you got to label that yourself,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
so my
remember
5-year old self was not thinking very well about, but the one
the
little compartment on the side that had like the hinge,
yes.
I put Yoda in there.
Yeah, oh yeah. See, yeah.
That was Yoda's like little home.
Right. See, like I did the same thing. Like I wasn't paying attention to the names, and I was putting like Chewbacca in like the smallest available, thing, and it was funny because I completely screwed it up. I honestly I don't remember if they told you where to put the names,
Yeah, I
but
don't know if there was like a layout of that, but
I
there
don't.
definitely
Yeah,
needed to be because I did
yeah.
the same. Like, you had that one, forgive me, the one silver robot that kind of looked like a tin can, but he was tall and skinny. Um, that was like one of the tallest figures at the time that I
Yes,
had
yes,
market.
yes.
And I always had those labeled like on the wrong, they didn't fit
Yeah,
in their hole.
yeah. He was a bounty hunter. I forgot his name now. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I did the same thing. Like I put the tallest figures in the smallest compartments, and the smallest figures in the tallest compartments for some reason. What was I don't know, 5, 6, 3,
Yeah,
4
I
at
was
the
like
time.
5 or 6 at the time, I think. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was born in '78, so I don't know. I was young, dude.
Uh,
I,
well, at least it looks like with this case that Super 7, although we didn't get like a cool He-Man head or a Skeletor head or whatever, it looks like all the compartments are the same size. So they thought
right.
ahead and they
Yeah,
let us screw it up, man.
I didn't open mine up yet because I am waiting for my second one to show.
Oh,
Once I
so
get,
you got this.
I did get it. I was able. I have a really good friend named Tom Breisky.
Yeah.
He's an artist. He's a great cat, man. The guy is amazing. I love the guy.
Yeah, I've
He
talked to him a couple times in the groups.
Yeah, he's great. I actually see if he can come on the show one day. Um, at PowerCon, he makes up awesome shirts. Like one year, he made a shirt of Fuzura T. You know that Mexican knockoff.
Yeah,
Uh,
where's the T?
yes, he made a T-shirt of that. I have that. The last PowerCon, he made the if you remember from the movie, the Robbie's ribs.
Yeah.
He made a T-shirt of that. So
That
he's
might be where I came across him because I do remember that Robbie Ribs t-shirt.
yes, yes, he's very cool. He comes up with really inventive stuff. So plus he's a really great artist, and he does like what's it called? He does like button sets of like She-Ra, He-Man, obscure characters from the shows and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. He's really really good, man. I love his stuff. I love it. I can't wait for this PowerCon to see what shirt he has because I whatever shirt he has, I always grab. It's
See,
always
that's the next cool thing. I mean, what a year! I mean, so far. I mean, I know there's been a lot of waiting, and I know a lot of people have been kind of aggravated with the waiting. But as far as reveals go and the things, I mean, we have so much from SDCC still to cover. We got PowerCon coming. Other things that are going on throughout the year. We've got other reveals by Super 7. So,
yeah.
man, there's a lot going on, dude.
Oh yeah, and you know what? There's plenty of more coming because you got to remember now at PowerCon, they're definitely gonna have something to show off. They're gonna have some type of reveal, whether it's maybe a Christmas thing or next year's first quarter figures or whatnot. Well, they're definitely gonna have something.
Well, one thing, and I know we're going to talk about it. I mean, right now we're kind of we're talking about the case and we're straying like crazy, but uh, they all Louis Coronado brought up the fact that they also had he's in the chat that they had a Millennium Falcon case also. So just
Oh yeah, yeah, they
on that
did.
too. But one of the things that we didn't see at SDCC that got talked about though was having that, that there were two characters that didn't get, we actually didn't see them, but they got talked about. So I'm assuming that those will actually be at PowerCon. You know who I'm talking about?
No, who?
So there was, for the Filmation line, they're going to do Manny Faces. And that was
Manny Faces.
Yeah, there was actually a spot for Manny Faces.
So
and
what, the Filmation version?
Yes, and that's the crazy thing, because I was talking to a couple
Nice.
other people, and I was thinking, like, what do you do with Manny Faces that hasn't been done yet? As far as, you know, we got the extra head with classics, we got, you know, the gun, but he doesn't really do that in
Well,
film. So,
hopefully this is the chance to get the Manny weapons now.
yeah, dude,
You know, get those extra weapons included. That would be sweet.
that would be very cool. So
Yeah,
I
that.
don't know, you know, I think you and I talked about this once before, as far as Manny Faces goes. Like, I don't know, you know, that he's represented in a lot of different ways, but it's always that same kind of look for him, really. So I'll be interested to see what the Filmation spin on that is, as far as making his character different and making it different from what we already have in the classics version. So they had a little spot for him, basically just saying, you know, that he was coming, but
Nice.
no reveal on him. And then also Grenade.
Right.
So
Yes.
the
Yeah.
female rock
Finally.
warrior.
Finally.
Yeah, man, that's so
Well,
awesome.
well, you know what? Well, that might be the reveals they're gonna show at PowerCon then.
That's what I was thinking. You know, when
Because
they showed the
yeah,
spots, but they didn't show them, I thought, yeah, it's definitely got to be. They're holding that for
yeah,
on.
yeah. I think so. I mean, because they're definitely gonna have to show something. They're gonna have some type of reveal, and you know, it'll be fun, you know, and hopefully they do show them, even if they're not complete, you know, if they're just a wax figure,
Yeah,
you
and
know, in glass.
that's been some of the stuff they've done. I mean, it doesn't have to be finished, and I know that we've seen a few things that have been like, we saw them one way when they were originally shown, and then now that they're actually in a prototype, the prototype look a little bit different from the actual production run. So
Right,
you're,
right, right.
you're going to see some of those things. I think Dalamug probably being one of the biggest ones of that. Now, dude? What did you think about the whole rundown? I mean,
I'd be honest with you, I'm pretty happy with what we're getting. And Dialemug, to me, I did not expect to see that. Um, I know there are thousands of people that are extremely happy with him. That they're finally going to get him. I mean, me for one, I'm very happy too. Um, but I'm also the type of person that thought we would never get him. I just didn't think he was in the cards. But that's Super Seven for you. You know, they're in it for, you know, they're in it to win it. They want to get the fans the stuff they want to see, and he looks pretty kick ass. You know, they did him
yeah.
justice.
Did you catch the little blurb that they gave about him though? Because it was interesting when they revealed him, Dalamug. He looked more like a film. He looked like he fit in the Filmation line. And they actually said
Right.
originally he was in the Filmation line, and then they decided to move him over to the other line, and that he will get a retooling basically to make him more classics versus the Filmation line. So,
The Filmation.
yeah, I
Really?
think it'll be
Oh
interesting to
well.
see what all they changed.
Even if they left him alone, I think he'd be pretty
Oh,
good
yeah,
the way he is. Honestly, you know, there's really
yeah. I mean, I think he's
he
glorious.
looks good. Just listen, if you're gonna spend the figure looks fine the way he is. If you're gonna spend more money on weapons and amulets and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah, give me the
stuff like that. The figure alone looks great.
Yeah, give me more add-ins, and like for
Yeah.
Dalamug, give me different faces, because he made, you know, he had the spinning faces. Give me different faces. I'm cool with that. But any,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll definitely take it. Who else did we have? We had Dalamug, Karg. You want to talk on that?
Now, Karg, I saw coming a long time ago. I always knew it was just a matter of time. Um, he was in the Star comic book, which made him completely available to make. They said there was a special loophole, which I don't believe. It's just their way of saying, yeah, we finally got around to making it because of the loophole. Um, Waiting to see what the people really wanted. And to me, the people want him. I mean,
Yeah.
he's Karg, man. He is the leader of pretty much the villains in the movie.
Yeah,
To
man.
have,
I mean,
to
like
ha-
that's
to,
the
to
guy.
have,
That's the guy that was selected to head up the crew. You know what I mean? Like that was the leader of the crew. And even though Evil Lynn
yes,
assembled them, I mean, he was the guy.
yes,
So Karg to me
right,
has always been like a big missing spot as far as
right.
figures. But did you hear why? I know some folks said, "Oh man, we got Karg, so we're definitely going to get, you know, movie He-Man, movie Skeletor, all that stuff." Um, they addressed that, and the thing is, they say because of the Star Comics, because he was there originally, they didn't have a licensing issue with him. So if you look at that figure, he isn't exactly movie accurate. He's a bit more lean towards the Star stuff. So I think that we still may be in some
Yes.
kind of licensing hell, man, where we're just not gonna get it, And that's what I'm hoping for PowerCon. I mean,
Well,
silently holding my breath and really
yeah.
hoping that maybe
I
that
mean, well,
happens. But I don't know, man.
from my understanding and the research that I've done, and what Gary Goddard said and everybody was that there was so many hands involved in the pot of the '87 movie that it's extremely hard to get the rights to everything. So I don't know if we will ever get an '87 line, so to speak, but there are loopholes, okay? And now with this so-called loophole of Karg, well, we have the '87 of the movie with everybody that's in the movie in the comic.
In the comic.
So if yeah, right. So if that means that mid, then you're gonna get a Julian Kevin figure, or you're gonna get oh god, what the heck
What's
is
his
his
name?
name? Not Cubic.
I know where you're going with it. Oh my gosh,
Jesus Christ, what's his
talking
name?
about the movie earlier. Check. Love check. Come on.
It's Cubic.
Help me out, Rudd. I know you know it.
Damn it, I can't think of his name. Lubick. Lubick.
Lubick. There we
That's
go.
his name.
I knew I had like a something.
So yeah, Lubick. So I mean, now with this loophole, I hope that they realize now you're gonna have people pressuring them now to go back to that '87 movie adaptation and say, "Hey, listen, you were able to do Karg. Why can't you make this He-Man movie accurate figure, Skeletor accurate figure, Beastman, Sorceress, and so on and so on." Maybe we will get an '87 mini sub now because of this so-called loophole.
Okay, let's say let's say that they make an 87 line. Okay, let's just say that they do like kind of like the Ultimates. They run whatever, just or like Collector's Choice or Grayskull. They just run a series of it, and they're going to do the whole line. And Ozone gets them with his
right.
Where do you display them if we get human figures? Okay, if we got the human figures, if those folks were included, those are not going to look right with classics. Are you gonna are you gonna display them with classics, or are you gonna have just an '87 movie shelf, or how does that work?
No, they get with the classics. I mean, they're gonna have to be
Even if they're
incorporated
wearing
with them
jeans,
somehow.
if they're
You know,
wearing,
you're gonna. Yeah, you know they. It, I mean I know what you're saying. I mean, you know, Julie and Kevin and Lubick is going to look strange because you know they're humans,
they're wearing human clothes.
but uh, you know, and they're probably going to be wimpy compared to the size of the Eternians. Um, so they're going to be classics figures, so they're going to have to be with them somehow. You know.
Yeah, man. And Rudman was in the Rudman's in the chat. Paul Rudman was talking about if there's a figure, you know, I mean, he's not saying this is the only figure he would like to have. He's named about 10 or 12. We were talking about God Skeletor, but those troopers, those army build, like you could do army builders with those troopers from the movie. Oh
Oh
my
yes,
God, dude, those things are glorious.
yeah. The
That is definitely a
Mario's, yeah,
figure I
man.
would like to see.
Yeah, see, those are the guys that I would love to get, the Centurions with the little flying discs that they came on, because
Yeah, dude.
those guys are definitely army builders, you know, and they'd be a great you know, faction to have because you know you can uh, I can't believe I'm about to say this though, but you know you can actually have um what's his face? What's that guy that travels through time? That idiot. That
Gwildor? Are you
no,
dissing?
no, 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 not Gwildor. That guy that Scott Nylick made up. What's
Oh,
his
Jesus.
name?
You're talking about the Mighty Spectre, man.
Yes, yes. You know, you can have sort of like the '87 movie Skeletor and his minions versus the you know the Skeletor and evil warriors that we know today. You
Well,
know,
all
so
you
that could
got to do
be
is add
a
another
whole
layer to the multiverse, and there you go. I mean, we could
right,
just travel
right,
them all
right,
through time, man. Why not? Spectre can do it,
right. I mean, you know,
dude.
you know, the
No
mighty
kid.
the mighty Spectre could do everything and anything. He's the
Dude,
man. You know, he's the one and only. So, um,
I think
you
that
know
probably Spectre should get a
that you know
standalone movie.
that's just one idea off the top of my head right now. You know, you know you can have your '87 villains as a separate faction. They're Skeletor of the past or Skeletor of the future or whatever you want to say, or Skeletor in a multiverse, like how DC has Earth 2 or whatever like that. You can have that as well, like Eternia or Eternia 2. And that's where you get the movie guys from. So, anything's possible as long as you use your imagination. I mean, I just hope that Super Seven and Mattel are they're ready for all this hate mail or whatever you want to call it now with this loophole that all of a sudden came out, because now that you're able Karg, there should be no reason why you can't make the rest of the gang.
No more excuses, guys. But so with that said, okay, we talked about things that possibly could happen. Let's talk about some things that we know are going to happen. We know they're coming. So there's a couple other folks that we got in our reveals. We got Karg. Who else did we have in there? Let's see. It was Karg. We got Tongue from the Filmation line.
Yeah, you get another Tongue Lasher.
Yeah, he's. I like that figure.
It's a fourth
I really
person,
do.
but he slipped my mind.
I don't know. I've never been the biggest fan of that version of Tongue Lasher. I mean, he's different. He's cool. But we also got the Merman too. So Merman in his more filmation accurate look, really killer sculpt on him too.
Right.
And
yeah,
other
they
than
did
that,
him justice.
Glorious Sorceress. What else can you say about the Sorceress? I mean, that one is freaking sweet.
Which one? I'm sorry, you were breaking up. Which who?
Yeah, I think me and you got a little delay tonight, but the Sorceress. Have you seen the one for her?
Who? I'm sorry. Say it again.
Right there, baby. The Sorceress, my brother. Check her out there. Oh, dude.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So a little bit different sculpt on her.
So,
they were talking about the wings.
They are making.
Yeah, she's definitely coming.
They're making another. All right. So hopefully they're going to fix the whole wing situation with her arms. Maybe, you know, even if they go back to the old 87 figure where the wings were separate hands and arms, you know, something like that I think would work better than what they did in the past.
Yeah.
You know, make it two separate things. So you have her arms moving and you have is behind her. I mean,
Well,
I'm happy with that. To me, that'd be fine. I don't see.
That's the issue with this one. I mean, the truth is this right here is a mess. I mean, it's not pretty to look at. It's functional for what it does, obviously, but it is not.
Yeah.
It is not pretty in any way. Now, Brian Flynn addressed it, and he said that there is the sculpt is very different. So obviously, if you look at this figure, we have the line here. There is a boob undercut on the other one, so the sculpt happens like underneath the boobs. Oops, didn't mean to do that, Sorceress. I'm sorry. But she, hope you don't mind, girl. I know you're all in white. But so she
got a bad boob
job. But on the new one, they were talking about addressing those wings and how that's going to happen. And those wings apparently, he said she's not going to stay in that pose. So the wings, there will be a functionality to them. They will move up and down. She's not going to be stuck, you know, doing this thing. So we're good on that.
Yeah.
The face sculpt,
because that was a major flaw with the first one. I mean, if you were looking at her from the front, she looks like a good figure.
Absolutely.
But once you look from her from behind, of wings on, you know, the left and right side of her back, it's a terrible design.
Yeah, the wing drums
is terrible. I would have wished they would have waited until they came up with a better design for her. You know, she got that early. I mean, they could have waited and made it perfected it, so to speak, and made it look better. It's just, to me, that figure, I just don't, you know.
That's the thing. Like, I mean, I like drumsticks on my chicken, bro, but I don't need it on this girl. Like, I like Dirty Birdie to be straight up Dirty Birdie. I don't need no drumsticks in the back of that chicken. But said they do two sets of wings, and the way that it looked like in the picture, they did show the back of it, and it doesn't have those drums on it. So I don't know if maybe they've got one for it being open and that connects, and then maybe one for it being down. I don't know how they're doing that, but it was cool to hear Brian Flynn address the
right.
that they're going to do something about it, though. So who else? We got?
Well,
we got another one.
I have faith.
We got Horde Mummy. So talk about him, man. Did you know anything about that guy?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. Say it again.
The Horde Mummy. Did you see him?
Sorry, Aaron, you're breaking up horribly tonight. I can barely hear you.
Yeah, that's the weird thing, man. It's to be okay on my side, but it's I don't know what it's doing. It's like the connection between
I don't know.
you.
Yeah. So okay, what were you saying? I got you now. Now, what were you about to
Talking
say?
about that, horde mummy. Did you catch that?
Yes, yes, yes. I think that's spectacular.
I was
That's
actually
opening
very
up the
pleased to
floodgate.
get that figure. A lot of people said, "Well, I don't know anything about that or about where that figure came from." I thought that figure was cool, man.
Oh, dude,
But
that
they gave
that's gonna open up that whole I excuse me, I can't think of the name of it. Oh my god, excuse me, I got the burps. Jeez, I can't think of the name of that book that all those prototypes were in. But there was some really kick-ass prototypes in there, and the Horde Mummy was one of my favorites. And for him now to be forever in plastic, it's going to be great.
yeah,
And of course, another Horde member can't hurt.
yeah,
So,
we never be upset about having an additional horde member. But as far as the way that guy
right,
looked, man, he is good. I mean, especially the detail like underneath the wrapping, and you can see the muscle and
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, oh, guys, they did an
yeah.
absolutely
They
awesome job on that guy. So for the
yeah
folks that
they
hadn't
went to
seen,
town. They yeah, they went to town with the detail with that. I mean, the Four Horsemen really went the extra mile with that figure. It figure stuff like that, man. That just shows you how good and how much of a fan they really are.
yeah, or the fact
Tom
that
Art, that's it.
they're paying attention. You know what I
Tom
mean?
Art, that's the name of the book.
It's the what?
Tom Art, that was the name of the book with all the prototype art and stuff
Yeah,
in it.
man.
So there was some good figures, and then there was some ridiculous like I remember what was it, one guy with a huge foot, which was pretty ridiculous. That was kind of stupid. um there was some good stuff in there, and then there was some ridiculous stuff. But the horde stuff was really cool, and the horde mummy was really good. I really dug that, and I'm really excited that we're getting him.
Yeah. Now they named
It's
him.
gonna,
He does have a name. They named him Rap Trap. So, um,
oh yeah,
the name I don't really care that much for the name. I'm okay with Horde Mummy. The
yeah,
Horde
yeah.
Mummy.
That's what I'll stick with. Yeah,
But Rat
I
Trap,
mean,
I mean, it
again,
makes me think of him wrapping you up in his uh, bindings. So I guess
right, right,
I
right.
mean it makes sense on the name gimmick kind of thing where if he is the mummy, maybe he can wrap you up. So kind of cool. I don't know about the name, but I'll take Horde Mummy's cool.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take it with a salt, a grain of salt. I mean, how many of the bios do you actually, you know, how many of the names do you stick to? I mean, like, what is it? Optic. You can't even say his name. It's a bunch of like glicks and clicks, and I mean,
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. So I
we
mean,
did a couple
to
like
me,
that. I mean, like for example, I'll give you an example just because you said it. Here's Demo Man. Okay, can you read the name on Demo Man? It's like Ukaz Zekalo Mashakaquix. So
yeah. It sounds like a spell or something like that.
yeah,
It's crazy.
I'm good with that.
I mean, some of those things, man, and make me laugh my ass off, and it's just like, oh man. Others, they're okay, but and then you got them killing off Stratos and stuff like that. I can't appreciate.
Oh
That's stuff
man,
I don't like.
there was a lot of that
So
crap, especially. I mean, like you create one of the greatest gladiators that Eternia has ever seen, as far as Vicron, and then you tear him in half with Gygor. What are you doing, guys? We
I
don't have
know,
to kill every character just so that they can be brought
I
back in the
know
reawakening. I mean, I don't even care about the reawakening.
exactly. Yeah, it's silly. That's why that's one of my most favorite things, and I miss was the bios, because I used to love reading them and just laughing my ass off about how ridiculous it is, and some of them was so wacky, man. It's just unreal. It's like, the truth for the last 30 years. You know exactly what everybody's about, and then somebody writes four sentence bio, and it's completely ridiculous. So,
Well, my
but
opinion is,
I you know I
I'm okay with the bios to a degree, and I know a lot of people. Some people like the bios, some people don't. Um, I like them to a degree because I think it's cool to go back there and kind of tell the origin or the history of this character. But when you say, "Oh my
right.
gosh, this happened to this person," and that is the definitive thing, and this is the definitive story about them, and it wasn't. Like, there were a lot of things
Yeah,
that
exactly.
were left out, and they were just really busy trying to tie things together in places where I don't even think we needed to tie things together. Just my thought on
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and there's things that they could have left to the imagination as well. They didn't have to go that far in depth into everything. You could have left it as Stratos went into battle, and then you just you make your own conclusion of what
it.
happened.
Yeah, you
You
decide what
know,
happened to Stratos. I don't, in my mind, and I read that whole stuff about the reawakening, and Stratos was reawakened, but I I just kind of like Stratos being the king of Avion, and in my mind, I don't. My masters never get old. They don't age. They're timeless characters. So there are millions of adventures they can have. I don't have to have you tell me what their adventures are.
right, right, right. Yeah, I'm the
Or
same way. I
you know,
mean, like I said, I'll read the bios, just to see what they're about and how they goofed up. But I if you're a fan for 30 something years, man, I mean, basically know the character and what they're about, and everything like that. So, it kind of sucks when you got some guy killing people off just for the hell of it. Like Perfume had died, like in one of the Eternity War comics. It's stupid. I for one, I'm not a fan.
well, like Eternity War. I mean, there were a lot of things that happened there that I like. The some people are not a fan of Eternity War. I am. I like some of the things that they did, and it's kind of like for me, like Scorpia. If you're going to have this monster showdown with Scorpia and Despera or Shira, and she comes in, and we've got to be able to attack. There's got to be some seriousness to it. So cutting off her tail, and maybe that can regenerate, or cutting off a claw and maybe that comes back, but not permanently
Right.
destroying the character to a point that they can't have any more stories. I mean, that's just not. And the bios did that a little bit. So
Exactly. Yes, yeah, yeah. You see, that's what I like. Like, you can really hurt the person, take them out of action. Like you said, yeah, cut the tail off, and then you'll have somebody put a spell that'll, bring it back to 100%, and maybe not right away, but in time to
yeah,
kill off everybody. To me, that was just a stupid move. I just was not a fan of that.
yeah, and I mean, I'm
And
not.
and, and then especially if you're trying to bring back. Hello?
Yeah, I got you, brother.
What'd you say, Ben? I
I
lost you,
got you,
bro.
man.
You're
Go ahead.
breaking up like crazy
So you're
today.
saying if you're trying to bring back, yeah, I think you're freezing.
Wait, wait.
Uh, the guys were
Yeah.
the
No,
guys
I
were
see.
saying in the
No,
chat
see,
that
what
it
I
is
was saying is,
freezing somewhat.
but when my beef is that, okay, they came out with the Eternity Wars, So like they're trying to reintroduce or man to a new audience, say, and you're basically, you know, doing away with all these great characters that have such great potential. And to me, I didn't like that. I thought, it could have been handled a lot better.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I agree with you, man. I think that's been an argument for a lot of people. So, what else did we have? Another thing that we had at SDCC. We'll keep it moving because we've talked about a few things.
Yeah.
Um, the Evil Lynn statue. Did you catch that? Sideshow.
Yes. Yeah. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was done really well.
Yeah, they went with
Thought
the
it was done
classic
really well.
colors.
I yeah, I'm a big fan of the statues. Unfortunately, I don't collect them because I
They're
just don't have
expensive.
the room for them. They're what?
They're highly expensive. I mean, if you look around, you don't see these statues in
Yeah,
this
well,
room. I mean, that's not.
yeah,
We have went through some big stuff, but we've never got into that kind of stuff. So
yeah. Well, to be honest with you, the statues are expensive. They're expensive, and something like that you want to show off. You don't want to keep it in a box in a closet. You want to show it off. So
yeah, and it's
something like that to me, you got to have the room case it. And there's so many of them now that it's crazy, man. Most of
who else?
them.
Who else did we get other than
I,
Evil Lynn? So Evil Lynn was the last, the one that was revealed at SDCC. But who? I know that we got from Sideshow before. We got Skeletor and we got He-Man. Who else do we get?
right, but some of them they have um they have like the deluxe version, I guess you want to call it, because like there's a version of He-Man that comes with Orko.
Oh yeah.
So there's different ones. And then you got I believe you got Man at Arms, I believe Tila. There's a lot of them.
Uh huh.
They're not cheap, so it's something that you want to show off, and they're huge, bro. They're very spacious.
Yeah,
So that
they're just talking
you
about how
want.
large this thing is. I mean, it is freaking huge. So, I mean, it's like you said,
Yeah.
that is definitely something that you want out displayed. Large enough for people to be able to see that, and because
Right. That's not something. That's not something that you buy just to put away and say, yeah, I have. That's something you buy and display it so people can see it, or you can see it and enjoy it. It's not something that you just buy and put away, and that's the reason why I never got into the statues, is because that's what I would be doing. Is I'd purchase them and I have nowhere to put them, so I would just be putting them away. So for me, I'd rather save my money and buy other things with that.
yeah, that's definitely not.
I mean, they are.
Got tons of classics for what I would.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong; they're friggin' sweet as hell. All of them, all the statues, they're all great. I mean, I collected all the 2000X, uh, the busts and stuff like that, but they're just they're very space. They take up a lot of space, man. You need a lot of room for that. You know, you I know collect uh non He-Man busts and statues, and they're awesome, man. They have them throughout their house. They're great to see, but you know
Yeah, man, I just
they
don't know that I have. Number one, I know I don't have the money. Number two, I know I don't have the space. I mean, that's definitely something
right.
I would not be able
Yeah,
to do in here. So
yeah. Well, those are the two big factors. The money and the space. Yeah, again, like I said, that the money that you're gonna spend on you want you want it out. You want to see it. You want your friends to come over and be like, "Wow, look at this piece." You don't want to, you know, show them a box of it. You know, to me that just doesn't do justice for the statue. So, but yeah, no, they definitely kicked ass with that. And another thing with SDCC is Mondo.
Oh yeah.
Uh, you know, we got more updates on that. So,
But they have still
really looking
yet to
forward.
give us an actual like release date for any of that. So I know Mondo's had those out there a couple of times that we've seen them, as far as the He-Man figure, the Skeletor with the different heads, the Faker figure. I think they
Yes.
featured the Faker one this time, but there's still not a production date on those guys. So I know some people were getting kind of excited,
No, yeah.
but they're still pre-production.
This is, I believe, like the third year now, man. I mean, it's getting
Stop teasing me, man.
they're
Just
getting
make it.
ridiculous. I mean, honestly, I think because the Turtles had so many problems, I think they're trying to make sure that when they do decide to release the Masters, that there won't be any problems, that everybody will be satisfied, there won't be any returns, there won't be any negative feedback, and everybody will be happy.
If they're going to
Because
satisfy me with the Mondos, there's a couple of things they're going to have to do, man, and one of them, they have got to work on that haircut. I don't know who the Eternian barber is, but He-Man has got a raw deal, man. And it would appear that Faker has gotten, it maybe goes to the same barber. I don't know, but that's
yeah,
I don't. I personally don't.
yeah, but they can't. But but He-Man comes with two heads. He comes with the original head and the you know, the crazy hair head.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's what it is. If you go to the
So, you know,
barber,
you could use whatever one you want.
if you go to the barber and you're having a bad day and things just don't go well, lop that head off, put on another one. You're good to go. But you know, I mean, I felt the same way, man. I felt the same way. At least we have the extra heads, and at least Faker has our. I guess one of the things I kind of fuss about with Faker is that loincloth, dude. He needs to go back to Taylor and let the attorney and Taylor fix that up too, because that black little sheep big.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty glad with the well, you knew they were coming out with He-Man and Skeletor, and of course, you know, Faker is a combination of He-Man and Skeletor. It's a quick, easy, you know, figure for them to make because it's He-Man's body with Skeletor's armor and weapons. So, you know, I just wish that either Mondo or even the classics would make a freaking Leo Faker. I want a Leo Faker in the worst way,
if
man.
Somebody could get those eyes going on. That would be so awesome. Paul said something pretty funny. He said, "Isn't Psychop the attorney and barber?" So bring it on.
He's like Edward Scissorhands.
It's finally a use for the Psychop figure. I like that. But
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say he's finally got a use. Oh man, yeah. The first thing I did with that guy, man, I took those stupid scissors off and I found, I believe it was a Roboto hand and jeez, I forgot who the other person's hand I had. Those hands on him, man. I can't stand those huge scissors.
Yeah, dude, they are definitely rough. So
ridiculous. They should have gave him like Brutus the Barber beefcakes for you know, hedge clippers.
Yeah, if he'd have just come out with one big pair of choppers, I totally would have been cool with that.
Yeah, definitely, man. I would have been stoked with that. That would have been cool. You know, that would have been really cool.
All right. So, let's see. We're running it close time wise, and I got a baby hollering in the background. So let me see what else we got. We got Masters Universe Reaction Figures Wave 3 is now available. So we do have the third wave of the reaction figures. That's got Zodak,
yes,
got Batman, which is sweet. For anybody that's collecting those, I know you have them,
yes,
obviously, but
I got them. Yeah, I have them
What are
downstairs.
those? What are those retailing at? What?
I just want to say I $10, $15. I
Okay,
forget.
$15.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm gonna be honest with you. My favorite reveal really are the construction the
Yeah, those
construct
the mega constructs, man.
the He-Man and Skeletor. Oh my god, am I so stoked for those guys, man. I am so like
I really,
I and
really
the other
hope
thing
they do the
too,
Castle Grayskull.
I posted it is what was that?
We're playing on lag, me and you. So
Aaron,
I agree with those. I think that's awesome, but I
yeah.
really hope they do that Grayskull because that Castle Grayskull that they showed was absolutely awesome. So if we could get more of those constructs figures and then have actual play sets and vehicles, that would be
Oh yeah. Oh, they're coming. They're on their way. And let me tell you something. Happy that Lego didn't get the rights because Lego would put everybody in bankruptcy.
oh, and we couldn't afford that, man. There's
Lego is
no way.
so freaking expensive. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank God it's not Lego. So, um, Mattel owns the I forget what they're calling themselves now. The construction, whatever they're called. So that's why they were able to make them, and it's about time because I know I've said it in the past. I wanted them, and I know other people have as well. So thank God we're getting them. I'm very excited for that. I think it's very cool.
Yeah, man. So there it is, guys. That is our rundown on some of the things that we got for SDCC. That is some things that we're happy about, some things we're looking for PowerCon and all that good stuff. So I don't have anything else for this week. Of course, my goodbyes are always, come check us out in the Waffle Mafia and come be a part of Lucky Legends and do that kind of thing. We're doing that thing. So please come check us out. Come be a part of Masters of the Galaxy page with Mr. Brian Ozone and join us over there.
Yes.
And then other than that,
Yep.
send us out, my man.
And you too, brother.
You take us home.
Well, listen, I just want to say that a mutual friend of ours, Johnny Miz, he's got this great thing going on. He's got hebay.com. So I just want everybody out there to go and check it out, man. As a matter of fact, I'd like for him to come on the show and explain it because it's a really cool concept. I think it's going to help the collectors, the real collectors. It's going to help put more money in your pocket instead of other people's pockets, and you'll probably get more money for your dollar. So hopefully we can have him on the show maybe next week if he's available.
Yeah, definitely.
And,
I think he'll do that. And also, if anybody's kind of wondering about that, I'm glad you brought it up, Brian. Look online on Facebook, search Most Powerful Auctions, and then that will actually bring up a link to hebay.com.
Yes.
So
yes.
It's not all one word,
Yes.
he-bay.com. So if you'll go to Most Powerful Auctions, that is actually a group within Facebook, and then that will direct you over to eBay. So, man, absolutely glorious. It's going to save us some money, buddy. Ain't going to stick that stuff in your pockets. No.
Or again, you can go to HE slash not slash what is that icon E dash BAY.com. So you can go there, check it out. And again, John, it has a great idea with that, and I agree with him. I think it's cool. So with that being said, hopefully he's free next week. He can come on, and we can have him as a guest, and he can explain exactly what it's all about. And I just want to thank Aaron, and I wanted to thank Doug and popculturenetwork.com. I want to thank all the listeners. We hit over 4,000 members, guys, on Masters of the Galaxy, man. You guys are awesome.
Awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Um, that's a terrific feat, man. We did good for over 4,000 members. It's I never expected that when I started the page. So it was, almost about a year ago, I guess, right?
Yep.
How long have we been doing this now? About a year, right?
Yeah. Well, Masters of the Galaxy podcast, you've been on it for almost a year, or a little over a year, I think. So
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I mean, because you joined about a month and a half in on it. So yeah. Again, I appreciate it, guys, and please feel free to tell your friends. It's a great place. We talk basically about Masters and pop. Thundercats, Silverhawks, Black Star. We talk about it all, man. Buy, sell, trade. We try to do the right thing for the fans. We try to keep it legit. Again, I just want to thank the Wafflers. I want to thank popculturenetwork.com. And guys, please come check out the Master of the Galaxy Facebook page. And until next time, guys, rock on, man.
peace.
That was cool.